I wanted to give myself the 30 days to make sure that there was no discrepancies, because I done been through enough and I already know what to expect. And I be trying to make sure I cross my T's and dot my I's before I get to the crossroad. Okay, I don't even. um. Anyway, so the inspection is also another process. Now, this is the thing. When it comes to the inspection, the management or the landlord or whoever the owner that you're moving to, for, or with is, they're responsible for calling to set the inspection. And so, there was a piece of information that the apartment complex asked me for that my housing authority doesn't usually disclose until after the inspection. The inspection wouldn't have been able to happen until after the 1st of July, because the apartment wasn't vacant yet and the apartment wasn't ready, or wouldn't be ready available until the day that I was supposed to move, which was July 2nd. Now, in between this time, it is around June 3rd, the guy at the apartment complex said, "Hey, is it possible that, your leasing officer can send me over a copy of what your rent portion would be in comparison to the asking price that I sent over to him?" Now, I told him my housing usually doesn't do that, but I will speak to my worker to see if he's willing to, make that move for me. So I sent my leasing officer an email. My leasing officer gave me the same information that I already know, but he said, "You know what?" He said, "If you really feel like this will help you move," he said, I'm not going to be able to give him the complete and actual breakdown." He said, "But what I will do," he said, "I will go in." He said, I will take the numbers of your income, of what they're asking, the utilities that are not included and that are." He said he's going to crunch the numbers for me personally, and he was going to send it over to the housing authority, and he assured me that he was gonna do it by the end of the business hours that same day that we were on the phone, which was June 3rd. And he had informed me that he was going to be in a couple business meetings for the next 3 days, and that he would be in close response, but he might be a little delayed as far as I guess how quick he will respond, which was fine, because at this point, like I said, I still was feeling like everything was a go. So I was maybe a little too confident. Anywho, so that happened, and I didn't get a confirmation email from my landlord. I mean, from my leasing officer, letting me know that he sent that over, nor did I get a confirmation email from the guy at the apartment complex to let me know he had received it, because that has been my request since the beginning. I like confirmation emails because I like to ensure that my stuff is getting through. But I didn't receive a confirmation email for either of these transactions. But I have faith in my leasing officer, because he's been quickly responsive. Almost everything that he told me, or everything that he told me that he was willing to do to help me or whatever, he has not failed me yet. He's literally, he does his job and he responds pretty quickly. And I've had other houses working before where that I can't say the same thing for. I've had horrible experiences. Although having the assistance has been a true blessing. So I'm not here to rant or put down or talk about the housing itself. I'm really specifying a situation that I currently experience. Anywho, so I don't even know how I'm trying to figure out how I want to tell this, because at some point I was unaware of the back and forth until I inquired about more information. Now, so he asked for a breakdown of my portion of the rent in connection to what housing's willing to pay and everything. I didn't receive a confirmation email from either party, so I didn't know, but I was confident that it was sent. And that didn't do nothing but just give me even more of a reason to feel like this was gonna go. Like, this was it for me. Out of 5 years of trying to find an apartment that has a unit that has a washer and dryer in it, because that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted from the beginning, was an apartment with a washer and dryer. That's it. I'm not trying to. I wasn't worried about the neighborhood. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not looking at like the grittiest or the grimiest of the places, but at the end of the day, like, I just wanted a unit that was within the price range, that was affordable for me with my housing, and a washer and dryer. That's it. Anyway, moving forward. So, Juneteenth. Now, this day played out unexpectedly for me, and by the end of it, I was a little disappointed. But shortly after, my friend told me that this place said that they didn't have any three bedroom units available. She also told me that the guy that her and I both were dealing with, she told me that he said that he wasn't going to be able to honor her deposit. I guess because there had been too many days in between the day that we applied, and I guess between her fully processing her application. I'm not exactly sure. I just know that he told her he wasn't going to be able to honor her deposit. But what he said was, he said he wasn't going to be able to honor her deposit. He said because she was applying for a market rent apartment, and I guess because she has a housing voucher, that he has to treat her the same as he would market customers. And he was saying that because of the fact that the unit wasn't vacant, and because of the fact that the unit was not available for inspection until a later date, which would be the following month, he told her that he pretty much couldn't honor her deposit for more than 5 days. I believe those the words she said. She said 5 days. Now, mind you, he didn't say this to me, but like I said, on my end, everything is pushing through for me. So, a lot of things that she's telling me he's saying to her, he didn't say to me. And I think this is where the disconnection between my application process took place. Because I do think that in a way he was trying to discourage her. And I think what he tried to do was he tried to discourage her by telling her she had to pay equivalent to market rent. Again, like I said, the rent was $3,100. That's a lot of money. And it's not that she doesn't have it. It's the fact that that's a lot of money, especially when you have other things that could make this a little bit more reasonable. So like I said, I do think that the guy at the apartment complex, I do not think he was expecting my friend to find a different way to pay for the rest of the security deposit that he had asked for. And because of that, it also made my situation a bit more challenging, because I feel like instead of him being upfront with whatever his real reason for not wanting to do her application, he came up with a list of excuses that collided with my application process as well. So he had to keep up to his words that he told her, and then because I was in association with her, he had to turn around and tell me the same thing, although my application was further along than hers was. um like I said, I think he initially tried to discourage her by telling her she had to pay equivalent to 1 month's rent, which was the $3,100. And I think when she came and she said, okay, I have a program that's going to pay for it, I just need you to fill out this and send that, and we're all set. It's going to take them a few weeks to process it, which was enough time for her to have it done by the move-in date that she chose in association with the day that we first applied. So I'm saying all this to say, like I said, now after each excuse he gave her, he came with a different, it's like he came with a different excuse. But mind you, like I said, my application process was a little different. My communication and my connection with everything was a little different than hers. But because of my connection with her and some of the things that he told her, he ended up having to turn around and tell me. And so after him telling her first, before he told her that there were no more units available, no more, he told her to pay the full rental amount, and I think he thought she wasn't going to have it, so I think he thought she was going to kind of exit herself, and then that was going to be, he was going to continue to deal with me. At least that's what I think. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, I'm not trying to offend nobody, but I really think that's what was happening here. And so when she came back with another plan and another motive, I think he at this point was just trying to figure out a way to get rid of both of us. I don't know. You be the judge. Tell me what you think, because I think he was trying to, at this point, he's like, you know what, I was trying to deal with one, there's two, don't want to deal, but whatever, right? However the case may be. Either way, I'm still offended because I'm my own individual person, and what somebody else has going on is not a reflection of what I'm doing or what I have going on. And so I really think that I was treated unfairly because I was associated with maybe something he didn't want to deal with. I'm not sure. Anyway, moving forward. So, my friend and I, we're still somewhat in communication. She still has some kind of hope. I still have a lot of hope. And so I want to say by June 19th, and the reason why I remember it so well because first of all, it was Juneteenth. Second of all, y'all probably gonna be mad at me for this. Y'all might cuss me out, yell at me. I don't know. Y'all let me know what your perspective is on this part. But my friend called me the night before, or texted me the night before, June 18th. And she said, hey, since we're packing and we're in the process of moving, she said, I seen some a new headboard and bedroom set that she wanted to get her daughter. So she asked me to come furniture shopping with her. Shopping, yay! I love shopping. So I'm like, of course. So I go. So we plan to go early in the morning. She told me, the place closed at like 10, and it was like an hour away from our house or whatever. And so we plan to leave an hour early so that by the time we make it out there, the store will be open. With that being said, we spent a few hours in the store. She put some money down on some pieces of furniture that she wanted. By the time we left, we get in the car and she said, I gotta stop by the apartment complex that we looked at. Avalon. She said, I have to stop by Avalon in Lexington. She said, because the guy told me that there's no more 3-bedroom units available, and that there's only 2 bedrooms left. And so she said they have 2-bedroom lofts, and she said I would rather take a 2-bedroom loft, because essentially anyone who knows what a 2-bedroom loft is a 2-bedroom unit that has an upstairs that has a living space that's big enough to be another size of a bedroom. The only thing is, usually a loft style room in an apartment doesn't have a door. Sometimes it doesn't have a window, and sometimes it doesn't have a closet. It all varies depending on what apartment complex you're moving to. But essentially, a loft just means that they have an extra space, but the storage space is an upstairs compartment. And usually they look really nice. You can convert it into a bedroom, you can convert it into an office, you can convert it into another living space, whatever you choose to do. I really like loft style apartments, almost as much as I really love townhouses, and that's initially what I really wanted, but I'm settling for washer and dryer. Anywho, so I was unaware. I was unaware that my friend had made another appointment at the same apartment community that we were already in the process of having our applications being processed. And I didn't know that she made another appointment to view a 2-bedroom loft, because he had told her there were no 3-bedroom units available. Now, rewinding a little bit here, and excuse me for being a little off track or off focus or whatever, but rewinding a little bit here, there was a point before June the 19th. There was a point before this day that I received a phone call from the guy that we have been dealing with at the management office. Now, I do not remember the exact date. I just know that it was between June 4th and June 19th, because these are the 2 days that really stood out to me as far as the time between our communication. Now, between June 4th and June 19th, the guy from the office gave me a call. He said that because I'm applying for a market rent apartment and not one of the affordable housing units, he told me that he had to treat me as a market customer. And he told me that because the apartment that I put my deposit on, he told me that he can no longer honor my deposit because of the amount of time or days in between the day that I put down my deposit and the date that I'm supposed to be moving. So he essentially said to me, he said I can no longer honor the deposit, meaning that he can no longer hold it for nobody else to get it, or to put a down payment to rent it out. So he said but what I can do, he said I can keep your money order here. He said if no one comes in between this time and the time that you're looking to move, he said I can keep the money order here, and then once that day comes, if this apartment still is available, he said he will go forward and put in the inspection, with also going forward with the move-in date for being the 15th. So I did get a little discouraged, but I figured I don't think no one's coming in between this time, to come get this apartment off the market. It's like there's 5 units available. So in between this time, I did happen to go online and check again, because it did strike my curiosity after seeing how the prices went up and seeing how price was so different in comparison to how it started off. So I kind of at this point I've been checking and just like something's not right here, at least eventually feeling like that. Now I'm saying this because in between this time, in between these dates of me seeing all these units available, he told he eventually told my friend that there were no more 3-bedroom units available. And so I went online and then I seen that not only were the first 5 that were originally up there were up there, but another one had got added for August 2nd move-in, now making it 6 3-bedroom units available. And in 30 days, it's no longer even May anymore. We're now in June, and like now there's an apartment for August 2nd move-in. So even in my mind, I'm still like, okay, if July doesn't work out, I'm going for August 2nd if nobody else, claims it or put a deposit on it. Like this, it was just too many windows of opportunity that I felt like this was gonna work. This was gonna work. It should have worked, especially in comparison to all the requirements and guidelines and stipulations that you have to go through with housing. It was a lot of openness. Okay, so he did let me know that he wasn't gonna honor my deposit, and that if the apartment was available, that he would go ahead and put the inspection in. He couldn't put the inspection in before the move-in date because the apartment wasn't vacant, and then by the time the apartment's vacant, they needed the time to remodel it or fix it or whatever. And because of that, he wouldn't have been able to make the inspection until the actual day that the unit was available, or anywhere in between the 15th. Now, my friend, she made an appointment to go see a 2-bedroom loft because it essentially turns out to be a 3. But I thought it was a bit weird. I'm not gonna lie. First of all, the fact that she didn't tell me prior to, she only told me about going to the furniture store. I don't know if she had her reasons or if she wanted to see what his response was going to be in comparison to how he was dealing with her and how he was dealing with me. I don't know. Just thoughts that kind of popped up. So do share if you feel like you agree, disagree. But anywho, so we get here, and of course, our application processes are different. So although I'm here with her, I really didn't want to talk about my application process too much because, like I said, at the end of the day, I ended up having a lot of faith that this was gonna pull through for me. But before I left, the only question that I did have was if he had received the email from my leasing officer providing him with the special request, because it was a special request that he asked for. He told me that he's used to dealing with tenants that have housing vouchers, and he knows how this process goes. He was very much more well informed than the first person that I originally was working with. So I had a lot of confidence in feeling like he already knew. So he knows the inspection process. He knows he has to call. He knows what information he needs to give to them. He knew. At least that's what he told me anyway. So I was just curious, did my leasing officer send him over the information that he asked for? Because like I said, I had not received a confirmation from either party, either person. So I just wanted to confirm. That was it. I just wanted to confirm. That was it. I figured I'm not going to interrupt my friend's appointment because I don't know what she got going on, what she doing. I just wanted to ask that one question before I left. And, leave all excited, expecting to still be on my merry way. Anyway, so when I asked him, his response kind of surprised me. Um, he told me no. He told me that he hadn't received an email from my leasing officer with the information that he requested, which was the breakdown of what my rent portion would be